William Carter looked out the window of the military transport as it approached the landing zone. The massive alien ship hovered above the Nevada desert, casting a shadow that stretched for miles. His heart beat faster as he straightened his uniform. Today would change human history forever. "Nervous, Lieutenant?" asked Dr. Amanda Rogers, who sat across from him. Her calm voice contrasted with the excitement in her eyes. "Just trying to remember all the diplomatic protocols, Ma'am," William replied. In truth, he was terrified. 6 weeks ago, the world had watched in shock as the enormous vessel entered Earth's atmosphere and broadcast a message of peace in every known human language. Now, as Earth's chosen representatives, they would be the first humans to meet the Galactic Council face to face. The transport landed with a gentle bump. William and Amanda followed General Frank Walsh and 3 other officials down the ramp. A shimmering blue light appeared at the base of the alien craft, and a doorway formed in its smooth hull. 3 figures emerged. The central alien stood nearly 7 feet tall with pale blue skin that seemed to shimmer in the sunlight. Its 4 arms were folded in what the briefing materials had called a gesture of peaceful intent. The other 2 aliens were shorter, with golden scales and large, unblinking eyes. "I am Zorvax, primary emissary of the Galactic Council," the tall alien said. Its mouth didn't move, but the words appeared clearly in William's mind. "We bring greetings from the 27 sentient species who form our alliance." General Walsh stepped forward. "On behalf of the people of Earth, we welcome you. I am General Frank Walsh. With me are our diplomatic and scientific representatives." The alien's large eyes seemed to study each human carefully. When its gaze fell on William, he felt a strange sensation, as if something was gently probing his thoughts. "The Council has observed your world for many cycles," Zorvax continued. "We deemed this the appropriate time for contact. Your species has reached the technological threshold that qualifies you for introduction to the galactic community." The next few hours passed in a blur of introductions and explanations. The Council, William learned, had governed interstellar relations for over 10,000 years. They offered Earth membership as a developing world, with promises of technological advancement, cultural exchange, and protection. During a brief recess, William stepped away to gather his thoughts. The shorter golden alien approached him. "You have questions, human William," it said. "Yes," William admitted. "This all seems too good to be true. What does the Council gain from helping us?" The alien made a sound like soft bells. "Perspective. Each new species brings unique viewpoints to our collective. Though I must admit, your world presents certain challenges." "Challenges?" William asked. "Your history contains much conflict. The Council will expect Earth to undergo standard quarantine protocols due to your violent tendencies. It is for your benefit, of course." Before William could ask more, Zorvax called everyone back to the main discussion. As the talks continued, William noticed how skillfully the aliens deflected questions about these quarantine protocols. When he caught Amanda's eye, he could tell she had noticed too. Later, as they flew back to Washington, William reviewed his notes. "Something feels off," Amanda said quietly, leaning toward him. "They're offering us the stars, but on their terms only." William nodded. "That comment about our violent tendencies bothers me. Makes me wonder what these protocols really involve." "We should be careful," Amanda said. "First contact stories don't always end well for the less advanced civilization." William looked out at the stars appearing in the evening sky. They seemed different now, knowing what was out there. He couldn't shake the feeling that beneath all the diplomatic niceties, the Council had plans for Earth that they weren't sharing. "I'll keep my eyes open," he promised. "If they're hiding something, we'll find out what it is." Amanda smiled grimly. "Let's hope we find out before it's too late." 6 months had passed since first contact. William Carter stared at his computer screen in the small office given to him at the new Earth Council Joint Operations Center. Something wasn't adding up. "Look at this," he said to Olivia Jackson, who sat across from him. Olivia was the best computer expert in the Space Force, with short red hair and a mind sharper than most supercomputers. Each technology transfer comes with these data packets. The council says they're just standard documentation. Olivia leaned forward, her green eyes scanning the code. But you think there's something else? William nodded. The translation software that they gave us can't read them. Convenient, right? Olivia reached for her tablet. Let me try something. Her fingers moved rapidly across the screen. I've been working on my own translation algorithm. It uses patterns we've observed in their language rather than their official translation matrix. For several minutes, the only sound was Olivia's typing. Then she stopped suddenly. William, you need to see this. On her screen was a partial translation. The words Class 4 volatile species appeared several times, followed by containment protocols and behavior modification recommendations. What does that mean? William asked, though he already feared the answer. Let me dig deeper, Olivia said. 3 days later, they met in William's apartment, away from council monitoring. Olivia looked tired, with dark circles under her eyes. I've been through their historical database, she said, keeping her voice low. The council has classified other species as volatile before. None of them remain independent. They're either strictly controlled or were wiped out when they resisted. William felt cold. So much for peaceful cooperation. There's more, Olivia said, pushing a data drive toward him. I downloaded records of their dealings with other volatile worlds. They always followed the same pattern. First, technology sharing with hidden monitoring. Then, strategic bases on the planet. Finally, complete control. William remembered Zorvax's smooth words about partnership and mutual benefit. It had all been lies. We need to warn people, he said. We need proof first, Olivia replied. Hard evidence that Earth leaders will believe. William's phone chimed. It was a message from Amanda Rogers, asking him to come to her lab immediately. He and Olivia shared a look. Maybe she found something, he said. Amanda's lab was in the basement of a university building. When William and Olivia arrived, they found her hunched over a microscope, her normally neat blonde hair falling around her face. Look, she said without greeting them. William peered into the microscope and saw tiny metallic objects moving slowly through what appeared to be blood. What am I looking at? He asked. Blood samples from patients who received the council's medical treatments, Amanda said. Those are nanites, microscopic machines. They're not in the official documentation of the treatment. What do they do? Olivia asked. Amanda's face was grim. They're programmed to attach to specific brain cells, ones that control aggression, independence, resistance to authority. Over time, they alter the brain's chemistry. They're making us more docile. William said, the realization hitting him like a punch. Easier to control. Amanda nodded. I found them in every patient who's received council medical care. And they're recommending their treatments for everyone, starting with military personnel and government officials. William stood up straight, military training taking over. We need to take this to General Walsh, tonight. It won't be easy, Olivia warned. The council has representatives in all major government offices now. They'll try to stop us. William looked at the two women. 6 months ago, they had welcomed the aliens as saviors bringing gifts from the stars. Now they knew the truth. They think we're just primitive humans who will accept whatever they tell us, he said. That's their mistake. We need to move fast before their plan goes any further. Amanda packed her evidence while Olivia secured her data drive. The three of them slipped out into the night, carrying the truth that could change Earth's future. President Laura Mitchell looked around the table at the grim faces of her advisors. The evidence William, Amanda, and Olivia had brought to General Walsh was now being presented to the highest levels of government. On the large screen at the end of the room, images of the alien nanites floated like tiny predators. So they're trying to change us, she said, her voice steady despite her anger. Make us easier to control. William, now promoted to captain after General Walsh recognized the importance of his discoveries, nodded. Yes, Madam President. And that's not all. The Council has just announced their next move. He tapped his tablet, and the screen changed to show a map of Earth with glowing dots marking locations across the planet. These are where they want to build what they call peacekeeping outposts. The Moon, Mars, and major cities around the world, all staffed exclusively by Council personnel with diplomatic immunity. They're military bases, said General Walsh. Strategic positions to control Earth if we resist. Amanda stood up. The nanites are just the first step. If these bases are established, they could deploy larger-scale versions of this technology. Entire cities could be pacified without firing a shot. President Mitchell's face hardened. Not on my watch. She turned to her secretary. Arrange an emergency meeting with the Council representatives. Today. 3 hours later, in the grand meeting room of the White House, President Mitchell faced Zorvax and 2 other Council representatives. William stood behind her, watching the aliens carefully. The Council appreciates your prompt response to our proposal, Zorvax said smoothly. The outpost will ensure Earth's smooth integration into galactic society. President Mitchell didn't smile. The United States, acting with our global allies, requests more time to consider this proposal. We have concerns about sovereignty and control. For a moment, Zorvax's calm facade slipped. William saw something cold flicker in those large alien eyes. Time is a luxury, President Mitchell. The Council has voted. Earth requires guidance during this transition period. Guidance or control? Mitchell asked directly. The second alien, Nextarl, stepped forward. William recognized him as an overseer, higher in rank than Zorvax. Let us be clear, Nextarl said, his mental voice harsher than Zorvax's. Earth has 2 options: accept Council protection or be labeled a threat to galactic stability. Is that an ultimatum? General Walsh asked. It is reality, Nextarl replied. Your species has a violent history. The Council must ensure you do not bring that violence to the stars. William spoke up. And the nanites in your medical treatments. Is that part of ensuring peace? The aliens showed no surprise at the revelation that their secret had been discovered. Instead, Nextarl made a gesture, and the room's lights dimmed. A holographic display appeared, showing Earth surrounded by hundreds of ships. This is not a negotiation, Nextarl said. These vessels currently orbit your world, cloaked from your primitive detection systems. They are there for your protection. They look more like an invasion fleet, President Mitchell said coldly. Perspective, Zorvax said with a gesture that might have been a shrug. Protection or control depends on your cooperation. President Mitchell stood up straight. The people of Earth did not fight our way through thousands of years of history to trade one form of tyranny for another. We request 1 week to consider your proposal. Nextarl's eyes narrowed, but he nodded. 1 week. Then we will begin construction of the outposts, with or without your approval. After the aliens left, the room erupted in urgent conversation. William moved to the president's side. Madam President, we have 1 week to prepare. The Council won't wait longer. President Mitchell's eyes were like steel. Then we'll use that week wisely, Captain Carter. Contact our allies. It's time humanity showed the Galactic Council they've crossed the wrong species. As William hurried from the room, he knew a line had been drawn. The Council had revealed their true intentions, and Earth would not submit without a fight. The crowd in San Francisco's Golden Gate Park cheered as the Council demonstration began. Thousands had gathered to witness the alien technology that promised to clean Earth's polluted waters. William stood at the edge of the security perimeter, watching carefully. Something didn't feel right. Stop looking so worried, Olivia said beside him. People will think something's wrong. Maybe something is, William replied quietly. This demonstration wasn't in their original schedule. Why the sudden public relations push? Olivia shrugged. The Council knows we're suspicious. Maybe they're trying to win back public support. On the stage, Zorvax activated a large device that hummed with blue energy. This purification system, his mental voice projected to the crowd, can clean your oceans of pollutants in just 5 of your Earth years. William noticed the energy field growing larger than what had been described in the briefing documents. He reached for his communication device to alert security when a sharp pain hit his ears. The blue field pulsed once, twice, and then exploded outward. The sound was deafening. William was thrown backward by the blast wave. When he struggled to his feet, the scene before him was chaos. The stage was gone. People lay everywhere, many not moving. Where Olivia had stood moments before was now empty space. "Olivia!" he shouted, his ears ringing. He searched frantically through the screaming crowd but couldn't find her. Emergency vehicles were already arriving, their sirens adding to the chaos. Hours later, William sat in a hospital corridor, his head bandaged. The television on the wall showed the grim news. The death toll, 347 civilians. Among them was Olivia Jackson. William's phone buzzed. It was Amanda. "Turn to Channel 8, she said, her voice thick with tears. "My brother was there too. He didn't make it." William changed the channel. Next, Harl was speaking at an emergency press conference. "The Council extends its deepest regrets for this unfortunate incident," the alien said, showing no emotion. "A technical malfunction in the containment field caused a power surge. We assure you this was an accident." But William had seen the device, had noticed the modifications. This was no accident. His phone buzzed again with a message from General Walsh. "Meet me at the lab. Bring the data you collected at the scene." At the military laboratory, William found not only General Walsh and Amanda, but also scientists examining debris from the explosion. Amanda's eyes were red from crying, but her face was set with determination. "Show them," she said to William. William connected his device to the main screen and played back the footage he had captured seconds before the explosion. The frame-by-frame analysis showed clear evidence of deliberate modifications to the device. "This wasn't a malfunction," William explained. "The energy signatures don't match anything in the specifications they gave us. They designed it to fail." "Why would they kill innocent people?" asked one of the scientists. General Walsh's face was grim. "To show us what they can do. A warning of what happens if we don't cooperate." Amanda stepped forward. "I've completed my analysis of the nanites. They're ready to release my findings to the public." General Walsh nodded. "Do it. People need to know what we're dealing with." Within hours, Amanda's report spread across the globe. News channels showed microscope footage of the alien nanites altering human brain cells. When reporters asked the Council for comments, their representatives simply stated that the technology was for humanity's benefit and refused further investigation of either the nanites or the San Francisco tragedy. The response was immediate. Protests erupted outside Council facilities worldwide. Government leaders who had welcomed the aliens now faced angry citizens demanding action. In the White House Situation Room, President Mitchell watched the global reactions on multiple screens. "The Council has shown its true face," she said. "They think this demonstration of power will make us submit. Instead, they've given us exactly what we needed." "What's that, Madam President?" William asked. She looked up, her eyes fierce. "A united Earth. For the first time in history, all nations agree on one thing. The Council must go." Deep beneath the Rocky Mountains, in a facility unknown to the Council, Colonel Eric Stone looked at the gathered team of Earth's best military leaders, scientists, and strategists. The room hummed with purpose and tension. "Operation Defiance begins now," he said, activating the secure display. "We have 5 days before the Council's deadline." William, now promoted to Major, stood and addressed the room. "The Council believes we're primitive and predictable. Their biggest mistake is underestimating us." He gestured to the weapons displayed on the wall. "Thanks to Dr. Rogers and her team, we've reverse-engineered Council technology. These plasma rifles can penetrate their shield systems. We've produced enough to arm our Special Forces teams." Amanda stepped forward. Her grief for her brother had hardened into resolve. The Council's communication network is their advantage. My team has developed a virus that will temporarily disable their systems. Once deployed, they won't be able to coordinate their forces for approximately 6 hours. Colonel Stone nodded. 6 hours to strike simultaneously at every Council outpost on Earth. Admiral Samantha Wright, commander of Earth's Space Forces, pulled up a holographic display of the solar system. The Council thinks our fleet is gathered here, at the Mars Defense Station, she said, pointing to a red dot. In reality, we've dispersed our ships throughout the asteroid belt and hidden them behind moons across the system. She smiled slightly. A strategy they considered too primitive to be worth monitoring. Colonel Stone turned to William. Major Carter briefed the team on the infiltration plan. William stood again. The Council believes humans are predictable, so we'll do what they never expect. Small teams will infiltrate each major Council installation simultaneously. Our objective is to capture, not destroy. We need their technology and data. He pointed to a large ship on the display. Admiral Wright's forces will engage their fleet to draw attention away from Earth. Meanwhile, my team will board this command ship. It contains their central database of military capabilities and weaknesses. A young scientist raised her hand. What if they deploy more of those devices, like in San Francisco? They won't, Amanda answered firmly. The explosion was meant to frighten us into submission. Now they want Earth intact, with its resources and people to exploit. They didn't come all this way to destroy what they want to control. Colonel Stone checked his watch. We have much to do and little time. Admiral Wright, deploy your fleet as planned. Dr. Rogers, begin distribution of the communication virus. Major Carter, prepare your infiltration teams. As the meeting broke up, William found himself standing next to Amanda near the weapons display. I never thought I'd be planning a war against aliens, he said quietly. Amanda touched one of the plasma rifles. They started this when they decided Earth was theirs to take. When they killed my brother and all those innocent people. William nodded. I keep thinking about Olivia. She was so excited about alien contact, about all we could learn. Now she's gone because the Council sees us as nothing but animals to be controlled or eliminated. We're fighting for her, Amanda said, for everyone they've hurt and everyone they plan to hurt next. Across the room, Admiral Wright was speaking with President Mitchell via secure video link. Yes, Madam President, she said. The fleet is ready. They'll never see us coming. On the screen, President Mitchell's face was stern but confident. The Council gave us 1 week to prepare our surrender. Instead, we've prepared our response. When they attack, we'll show them exactly what humanity is capable of. Admiral Wright saluted. Earth will not fall, Madam President. As the final preparations began, William looked around at the determined faces of soldiers and scientists working together. The Council had expected fear and submission. Instead, they had created unity and unleashed humanity's fury. In 3 days, the Council would learn they had crossed a line they should never have approached. The moment of attack came at dawn. Across the globe, in perfect synchronization, Earth forces moved against Council installations. Amanda's virus had been deployed 6 minutes earlier, plunging the alien network into silent chaos. William led his team toward the command ship hanging above the North American Council headquarters. They wore stolen Council maintenance uniforms and piloted a captured service vessel. His heart pounded as they approached the massive ship. Team Alpha in position, came Admiral Wright's voice over the secure channel. Fleet emerging from hiding points now. All across the solar system, Earth's ships appeared from behind moons and asteroids where they had hidden. The Council's orbiting fleet, suddenly facing attacks from multiple directions, scrambled to respond. They're confused, said Kevin Boyd, Williams' communications expert. The virus is working. Their ships are asking for orders but getting no response. The service vessel docked with the command ship. William nodded to his team. Remember, we need their database intact. Disable, don't kill. unless absolutely necessary. They moved through the ship with practiced precision. The Council security forces, caught completely by surprise, fell quickly to the stun weapons William's team carried. Within 20 minutes, they reached the central command deck. 3 high-ranking Council officers turned in shock as the humans burst in. William recognized Nextarl among them. "This is impossible," the alien said, his mental voice wavering for the first time. "You are a primitive species. You cannot have breached our defenses." William smiled coldly. "That's your second mistake. Your first was attacking Earth." While his team secured the command deck, William accessed the central database. Kevin plugged in the special drive Amanda had prepared. "Downloading now," Kevin said. 4 minutes until complete. Outside the viewports, William could see the space battle unfolding. Earth ships darted between the larger Council vessels, using maneuvers no Council pilot had ever encountered. The aliens' standard battle formations fell apart against Admiral Wright's unpredictable tactics. "Major Carter," came Colonel Stone's voice over the comm. "Status report." "Command ship secured," William replied. "Database download in progress." "How are the ground operations?" "Better than expected," Stone said, and William could hear the satisfaction in his voice. "Every Council outpost on Earth is under our control. Casualties minimal on both sides." The database download completed with a soft peep. Kevin removed the drive. "We got it all. Every secret they have." Nextarl, restrained but still defiant, glared at William. "This changes nothing. The Council controls thousands of worlds. Our main fleet will arrive within days. You have only ensured your own destruction." William's comm unit buzzed. "Major, this is Admiral Wright. We've captured enough of their ships to establish a defensive perimeter. The remaining Council vessels are retreating." "Understood, Admiral. We have the database and have captured Nextarl." "Excellent. President Mitchell is preparing to address the planet and the Council worlds." Back on Earth, in every city and village, people watched their screens as President Mitchell stood before the global assembly. Her image was being broadcast not only across Earth, but to every world in Council space, using the Council's own communication network against them. "Today, humanity has demonstrated that we will not be subjugated," she said, her voice strong and clear. "To the Council, I say this. We do not want war. We want freedom. We want peace. But we will fight with everything we have rather than surrender our independence." She paused, then continued, "To the other worlds watching, know this. Earth stands ready to ally with any species that seeks true partnership rather than domination." On the command ship, William watched Nextarl's face as the President's words reached every corner of Council space. The alien's usual confidence had vanished. "You have no idea what you've done," Nextarl said quietly. William leaned closer. "Why don't you explain it to us?" "You've given hope to those who had none," the alien replied. "And there is nothing more dangerous in this galaxy." For the first time since the San Francisco tragedy, William smiled. "Then we've already won." William and Amanda worked tirelessly in the captured command ship, now orbiting Earth as a symbol of human victory. For 3 days, they had been digging through the massive Council database, finding secrets that changed everything they thought they knew about the galaxy. "Look at this," Amanda said, pointing to the screen. "These records go back centuries. We're not the first species they've labeled as volatile." William leaned closer, reading the translated text. The Nazari, the Valurians, the Krell, dozens of civilizations, all either enslaved or exterminated, Amanda finished, when they refused to comply with Council guidance. William scrolled through more files. "According to this, the Council doesn't actually represent most species in the galaxy. They only control about 30% of known worlds. The rest are either designated as primitive, like Earth was, or kept as resource planets." Amanda's eyes widened as she opened another file. "William, This is bigger than we thought. Many species in the Council worlds themselves resent Council rule. Look at the number of rebellions they've put down in the last century alone. They're not the galactic authority they claim to be, William said. They're an empire, and empires have enemies. A message alert flashed on the screen. Major Carter, came Admiral Wright's voice. You need to return to Earth immediately. We're picking up unusual signals from deep space. Back at the command center, Admiral Wright showed them the data. 3 ships approaching from different directions. Not Council design. They're broadcasting on frequencies we've never seen before. Colonel Stone frowned. Reinforcements? I don't think so, William said, checking the database records on his tablet. The Council doesn't have allies. They have subjects. These ships aren't in any Council registry. President Mitchell joined them via secure video. Can we communicate with them? We're trying, Admiral Wright replied. But our translation systems are designed for Council languages. Amanda studied the signal patterns. Wait, they're using a modified version of the virus I created to disrupt Council communications. They're trying to talk to us specifically, not the Council. With Amanda's insight, they established contact. The largest screen in the command center flickered, and a face appeared. The alien looked reptilian, with green-gold scales and 4 yellow eyes. People of Earth, the alien said in halting English, I am Captain Jen of the Free Valyrian Fleet. We watched your broadcast. We come to offer alliance. William stepped forward. You're Valyrian. According to Council records, your species was subjugated over 50 years ago. The alien made a hissing sound that might have been laughter. Not all of us. Some escaped. We formed resistance. For years, we waited, hiding. When we saw Earth fight back and win, we knew time had come. 2 more screens activated, showing different alien species. One had blue crystalline skin. The other was insectoid with compound eyes. I speak for the Nazari remnant, said the crystal being. We too survived Council pacification. We offer technology, knowledge. The insectoid alien clicked its mandibles. The Krell Collective greets Earth warriors. We bring ships and weapons to fight common enemy. President Mitchell stepped into view of the cameras. On behalf of Earth, we welcome your alliance offers. The Council's days of tyranny are numbered. After the communications ended, the room buzzed with excitement and questions. Can we trust them? Colonel Stone asked. William indicated his tablet. The database confirms everything they said. The Council nearly wiped out their civilizations. They have more reason to hate the Council than we do. Amanda looked thoughtful. We should share what we found in the database with them. There may be other resistance groups out there. And other Council secrets we haven't discovered yet, William added. President Mitchell nodded. Arrange a secure meeting with our new allies. It's time to take this fight beyond Earth. As William left to prepare, he thought about how quickly everything had changed. 2 weeks ago, humanity had stood alone against an overwhelming alien force. Now they had allies, technologies beyond their dreams, and something the Council had never expected them to gain: hope. The Council had awakened humanity's fury. Now that fury would reshape the galaxy. 6 months after Earth's first victory against the Council, William stood on the observation deck of the Alliance flagship, watching as ships from a dozen different species maneuvered in formation. What had begun as a desperate defense of one planet had grown into the largest rebellion the galaxy had ever seen. Ambassador Carter, a voice called. William still wasn't used to his new title. He turned to see Amanda approaching, now head of the Alliance Science Division. The Council Central World is sending urgent messages, she said. They want to discuss terms. William smiled slightly. They said the same thing last month. Then they attacked the Nazari colony. This time is different, Amanda replied. Our forces have taken control of their main supply routes. They've lost 27 systems in the past 2 weeks alone. Even their most loyal subjects are joining us now. They walked together to the Alliance Command Center, where representatives from all member species had gathered. Admiral Wright, now Supreme Commander of Alliance forces, stood at the center console. "The Council is collapsing," she announced. "Their remaining fleet has retreated to their home system." 3 more Council worlds declared independence this morning. On the main screen, a map showed the changing galaxy. Areas once marked in Council red were now Alliance blue, spreading like a wave across the stars. "They never expected this," said Captain Jen of the Valurians. "They believed control was their right, that no species would dare stand against them. Their mistake was thinking we would fight like them," William said. "They expected us to use their tactics, their strategies. Instead, we brought something new." The representatives nodded in agreement. Earth tactics, considered primitive by Council standards, had proven devastatingly effective. The Council's rigid military doctrine could not adapt to the unpredictable, diverse approaches of the Alliance forces. A communications officer interrupted. "Ambassador, we're receiving a direct transmission from the Council High Chamber. They're requesting to speak with the Alliance leadership." On the screen appeared a Council elder, older than any Council member they had met before. The alien looked tired, its once bright skin now dull. "We wish to discuss the terms of a ceasefire," the elder said without preamble. Admiral Wright stepped forward. "The Alliance has one condition: the complete dissolution of the Galactic Council as a governing body." The elder was silent for a long moment. "After 10,000 years, the Council era ends not with glory but with defeat. We accept your terms." When the transmission ended, the command center erupted in celebration. Species that had lived under Council oppression for generations were finally free. In the days that followed, representatives from hundreds of worlds gathered on Earth for the signing of the Earth Accords, establishing a new form of galactic governance based on mutual respect and cooperation rather than dominance. William, as Earth's ambassador, stood before the assembled delegates on the final day of negotiations. "The Council believed that control was the only path to peace," he said. "They feared our differences and tried to eliminate them. But our strength lies in those very differences, in the unique perspectives and abilities each species brings." He gestured to the document on the table before him. "This new federation does not seek to make us all the same. It seeks to unite us while celebrating what makes each of us unique." One by one, representatives stepped forward to sign the accords. The Valurians, the Nazari, the Krell, and dozens more, each adding their mark to history. 1 month later, William stood with Amanda and Admiral Wright at the launch ceremony for Earth's first true interstellar vessel. The massive ship gleamed in the sunlight as final preparations were made. "Where will you go first?" Amanda asked. Admiral Wright smiled. "Everywhere. Not as conquerors or subjects, but as explorers and friends." As the ship rose majestically into the clear blue sky, William thought of Olivia, who had dreamed of the stars, of all those who had been lost when the Council crossed the line. Their sacrifice had led not just to Earth's freedom, but to a new beginning for hundreds of worlds. Humanity's fury had been terrible indeed, but from that fury had come something greater than revenge. A galaxy transformed.